This is KhoodeelaarTVvhannel television channel broadcasting on the internet under the banner of babyAngelGeronimomanifestoeditions. This is part A, and this is timed formally as being published at 2200 hours GMT, which is 2300 hours British Standard Time BST on Tuesday, 16th of July 2024. The entire right wing of the British media has been triggered as a servile series of propaganda for the far right, fascists, racists, anti-constitutionalists, anti-democrats with a small d in what is supposed to be the United States of America. Of course, the so-called 20-year-old alleged attempted assassin of Donald Trump has been murdered, so it will not be possible credible, direct statement as to why this attempt took place. This is something that we have observed. It will be maybe 100 years or longer before it is admitted that this was a setup. Existence of the setup come. Who benefits from the outrage? And the answer is Trump. Overnight, illness, irrationality, convicted criminality for more than 10 years suddenly turned into a conventional image of Donald Trump. And the British media, typified by the Rupert Murdoch Times, are buying for the most sensational phrases to use to show that Trump is already elected. What is happening in the judicial aspects of the United States is that judiciary after judiciary is now giving Trump the impunity to commit murders, incite mass murders. So we shall be talking about all of these, of course, as the days, weeks, months come. Angela Rayner, who is the Deputy Prime Minister post holder and also the Cabinet Minister for Housing and Communities, is reported in Tuesday's newspaper as proposing the idea of local communities' democratic say. This is bound to be that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. It's a slogan. And there is no such thing as local communities anywhere. The local communities, if defined by election, are most unrepresented by the ritual of election to the local councils, which are corrupt to the core. And evening no standards has got a promotion piece, very rare ability of Khan might have this is something that is based on a my Khan on the podcast. Elizabeth Day is reputedly the cleverest student that somebody to what extent her being a clever student at Cambridge has ever translated into a clever commentator or investigative reporter is another matter altogether. Yes, except Nadine Dorries saying stupidity is a good thing because, like Trump, before this alleged assassin targeted Trump, is irrationality personified. She is saying that the multiple murderer of babies, Lucy Letby, cannot possibly be guilty, not because Nadine Dorries is offering any evidence in support of that stupid assertion, but because she says that she had her two daughters at the same hospital where the murders took place, and also that she, Nadine Dorries, is an ex-nurse. What the fuck? There are hundreds of thousands of nurses currently in posts everywhere in the NHS. If what Nadine Dorries says about her being qualified to acquit the convicted murderer because she, Nadine Dorries, is an ex-nurse, then what about the hundreds of thousands of nurses? Why are they silent? Being a nurse is not a judicial investigative qualification. We shall be talking about all of these in due course, of course. We shall be talking about Shamima Begum. We shall be talking about the use of the East London Mosque as a platform to mislead people into thinking that it was representative, it meaning the controlling clique at the East London Mosque was representative of the Muslims, ordinary Muslims, in Tower Hamlets and elsewhere, who come to the East London Mosque to say their prayers, and who are misrepresented by association, because by attending the mosque for prayers, these Muslims are being, without their knowledge or consent or awareness, being associated with the gang of criminals that actually controls the bureaucracy and the state collaboration function of the East London Mosque. Same goes for the London Muslim Centre. This is July, and two things happened in July 2006. One of the things that happened was the theft of millions of pounds of hard-earned money handed to the fast solution fraudsters based at the London Muslim Center. The Bangladeshis were robbed. Ordinary Muslims, hard-working Muslim migrants were robbed. And George Gate Galloway fucked it up. The campaign that would have actually forced the criminals to return the money was sabotaged by the idiot George Gate Galloway. Because George Gate Galloway was exploited by the moron Ajmal Hussain. The moron Ajmal Hussain thought that he would become a mega leader on the back of George Gate Galloway. So he fucked up the gathering at the Altavali Park, and George Galloway proceeded to divert the whole anger and outrage of the community into a collusion with the last Labour government before the May 2010 election. We shall be updating on all of those in due course, of course. This one is ending at just short of 12 minutes long at 2200 hours GMT on Tuesday, the 16th of July 2024.